Yo, this is Uegar, and today I'm going to be going over a video I did about a week ago. Sorry about that, not funny. But a video I did a week ago is going over the different ways that mangaka make manga. We have Hayao Oku, the creator of Gantz, and his use of 3D. We have Inio Asano, the creator of Pumppun, and his use of photo reference. And last but not least, I went over Shinichi Sakamoto, the creator of Climber, and his use of digital assets. And to my surprise, some of these people in the comments were quick to point out that the use of these tools were cheating, claiming that older artists didn't have the technology to use shortcuts that we have today. Therefore, they are more superior than the artists we have right now. A lot of the people with this purist mindset comes from the lack of knowledge of how the industry actually works along with the manga making process. So I'll be going over the different types of shortcuts that people took back then and today, hoping to provide knowledge and insight into how some of these older artists did take shortcuts. So let's get right into it. Disclaimer, just because people were confused in my previous video, yes, you have to have the knowledge and the know-how to do everything. These tools are simply just that, tools. So let's get right into it. First, we'll be going over the use of photo reference. Now, this is an awesome and amazing tool that a lot of mangaka and other industries use. Inio Asano, the creator of Goodnight Pumppun, will take pictures, upload them up on the computer, edit them, and also add detail to create these awesome manga panels. Now, some of the people in the comments of my previous video were quick to point out that this is cheating, not knowing that older mangaka used to trace over backgrounds as well. Now, of course, they couldn't take pictures and upload them on, Clip Studio Paint, but what they used to do is that they used to take pictures and then they would put it over a light box and they would trace over these backgrounds for more complex background scenes. Now, a lot of people automatically assume that these things are just going to come out, magnificent because they're tracing. You still have to have the knowledge of texturing, line weight, filling in certain blacks. Like, there's a lot of things that go into doing that with other than just tracing these backgrounds. Now, of course, not every artist and mangaka uses this method, but it's just funny to see that they're going to blame Inio Asano for cheating, not knowing that older mangaka used to take these exact same shortcuts but just in a different way. Even in older animation, this has been a thing for a very long time, called rotoscoping. Rotoscoping transfers an image from live action film sequence using a rotoscope. They take actors and have them act out scenes from the script, so when it came to the animation part, they would animate their characters over the live action film. Movies such as Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Snow White are all a product of this form of animation. Well, I guess with that purist mindset, we can go ahead and chunk all of these movies out the window because, it's not real art. They used some form of tracing. The one that I don't get why people feel like this is a newer thing is the use of 3D. 3D has always been around. Even in early movies like Lilo and Stitch, they had some 3D aspects. In Howl's Moving Castle, they had some 3D aspects. Now, is the whole movie 3D? No, absolutely not. But they still use 3D for some of the more complex things. Spider-Verse and Arcane are products of 3D animation, and that is one of the most jaw-dropping things that I've seen today. The amount of level of detail and complexity when it comes to these forms of animation is insane, but it wouldn't have been there without the use of 3D. So we might as well get rid of those because, with the purist mindset thing, that shouldn't apply. So why is it when they can paint over it and draw over their 3D models, it's okay, but when it comes to manga, well, we can't do that because, it's just tracing. No, you still have to have the knowledge and the know-how to be able to add detail on top of those things, add texturing on top of those things. You're not simply just plopping these things in and calling it a day. You have to know the know-how to actually make this look good. Same thing with Arcane and Spider-Verse. These people have 3D models, sure, but they have to have the know-how to put the texturing on top of it, paint over it, and everything. The principle still applies. So I feel like with that mindset, all of their arguments just kind of fall apart. Well, with photo reference, these people back in their day, they didn't do that. Well, actually, they kind of did. They used a light box and traced over it. And with rotoscoping. Oh, well, then if you use 3D, it's this way. I feel like the more you dig deep into these people's arguments, they simply just fall apart because these shortcuts have been around for years. And yes, they're somewhat different, but the thing still applies. The skill still has to be there. It's just a tool. You're not replacing anything. You're just using it as a tool. Someone still has to make those 3D models. 3D art is a form of art. And then when it comes to photo references, you still have to have the photography skill to even take pictures like that. And even when you get that, it's not like they're just simply just tracing over it or doing it. There's a lot of like time and things that you have to do it. It's just for help. A lot of people romanticize the struggling artist, which that's cool and all, but I feel like if you actually take the time to look into these things, you have to realize that it's a product in an industry that's booming. They need to get these things out there, so they're gonna take shortcuts, and there's nothing wrong with that. But people don't know that, so when they go in thinking that it's one way, and then they start to realize that, man, this is actually not how it's done. People do take these shortcuts. It's like, it blows their mind. It literally blows their mind. But all it takes is one Google search or one looking thing up on YouTube, and you'll find that the many ways of people. Even if you look at other artist YouTubers, some art YouTubers, they use 3D. So some of your favorite artist YouTubers even right now use 3D. And all of them have been in the industry, and you can see their story, and they will even tell you, yeah, people do this. So I guess everybody cheats then at the end of the day. If you're gonna say one person does it and is cheating because of that, then everybody cheats. All of your favorite games, they're all cheaters. All of your favorite animated movies, they're all cheaters. All the manga that you read, they're all cheaters, because everybody uses this. It's not anything new. And the people that are in the actual industry, they will tell you to do these things, use these tools. Like I've said a million times through this video, you still have to have the know-how. I can't just become a new artist and expect, you know, oh, I have these 3D models, well, I'm automatically going to be good at this. Or I use photo reference, well, I'm automatically as good as Inio Asano. No, that's not how it works. All the people that use these tools are simply just that, tools. They still have the know-how. And if all these people that say that, oh, okay, well, anybody can do it now, then why doesn't anybody do it? Why can't you go in and use 3D and your manga look good? Why? It's because, yeah, it's not that simple. You actually still have to have the skill. I guarantee most people that want to be in this industry know this information already. They've already looked it up because they're passionate about it and they want to get in. But this video is mainly for the people that didn't know that. And it's okay, because at first I genuinely thought that these people were cheating too. Like, I used to have that mindset. Growing up, I legit used to think that if you were using 3D models or any of this, then you were cheating. So I get it, but the more that I looked into it throughout the years, I started to realize that that is simply not the case. It is literally just a tool, because I used to romanticize the struggle and all that myself, you know, and I wanted to believe that these people were all doing it a certain way when they just genuinely weren't. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. So if you're serious about this, you know, not that you have to use any of these ways. Like I said, they're just tools. You can do it however you want, but you have to realize that you're going to be going against people that do this, and that's fine. And if you get into the industry, you're going to have co-workers that use this. You're going to have people that work for you or work with you or work in the same company as you that do all of these things. And maybe even the people that are higher up than you, let's say you're at a game studio, will tell you, hey, you need to do it this way. And that's perfectly fine. So if you're serious about it, you have to know that these things are an actual possibility. But if that's the way that you're thinking, then you're going to be stuck in this very small bubble of a specific type of art you have to do. You know, you're going to be stuck doing classical, you know, traditional paintings, which is cool, but I feel like these people are usually very closed-minded. But I also think it's due because they don't realize how many people do this. Like, they don't have the knowledge and the know-how to actually see how this is, and they think that most people are like the traditional artists, when at this point in time, it's not. And even people back in their day, or even before that, were still using shortcuts. So it's just like, they're just romanticizing the job. And I think that if you're in that bubble, I think you're gonna have to pop it eventually, and you're gonna have to get out of that bubble in order to be in this industry. That'll be the end of this video. Hopefully you got some more knowledge and insight on how these things actually work. If you want to see any of the artwork that is in this videos, please follow me on Instagram at UegaArt. Also, if you want to see updates on the one shot that I'm currently working on with Levin, you should also follow me there. That'll be the end. Have a good day. Peace.